You want to be fit, friendly, cooperative, submissive, put family first, advocate for marriage before having children, standards, virtues, principles, morals, chastity. If you want that to be your ethnic image as a group of women, I will repost anything you want on my page. I will pay to promote it. But if your plan to move the community forward is to get competitive, consistent, stable black men to join your matriarchy, if that's the only play you ladies are willing to run, then you're gonna be catching bricks out here. Because we're not gonna do it. No man who has his shit together is looking to be led by a woman. No man. We think most of y'all are disconnected from reality. When we talk to you, most of you can't put together a logical fucking sentence. That's all fucking emotion. So I'm sorry. Educated men are never, ever going to come to women for leadership. Men who have their shit together are never coming to you to be led for advice about manhood, how to run a family. That is not your place. Find a man who has some character and submit yourself as a wife. That's what you need to do. You need to find somebody who has some character and join his team. That's what you need to do. You want cooperation, you want community. The basic building block of a community is a family. And there is nobody in our community that advocates against the family more than the black woman. She's telling you she don't even need a fucking man. Well, guess what? Unfortunately for you, even though you making some money now, you still ain't out earning us, even though you want to call us all broke, right? You don't need a man, but your child still needs a father. And that's why he's throwing bricks at you when you tell him no, because he's got a woman's emotional template and a man's aggression. He's got a woman's emotional volatility and a man's aggression. He was never taught restraint. And restraint turns male aggression into protection for women and children. That's what the whistles are for, ladies. So we can stop and start. 1 minute we're trying to tear each other's heads out, bloop, blow a whistle. Next thing you know, we get up off the mat and shake hands. Men need to learn to utilize their aggression. They have to, and you ladies are not doing that with your sons because you don't know shit about raising men because you are men. You don't know what a good man is. If you knew what one was, then you wouldn't have had a baby by a motherfucker that wasn't shit. So here you are, bending over for some dude that's a dude dirty, talking about getting tricked when you know it wasn't getting tricked. You just got some good dick and wouldn't leave. You guys kick all this struggle love shit, and it's bullshit. Struggle love never happens without good ding-a-ling, fellas. These ladies that kick the struggle love shit, they just women that was getting their backs blown out, trying, hoping that the man would change, and he won't, cause that's not how he's cut. But he could hit that back spot behind the back spot. So she stayed and played with a broke motherfucker. Got used for everything. And then when the shit didn't work out, she tried to act like it was some holy love shit going on. When the truth is, he was just blowing that back out. And guess what? If you fuck with her, she probably still would be dealing with that dude in the background. Every now and again, he can get some. You can't deal with these women. Modern women avoid. You don't argue with them. Don't have sex with them. Don't date them. Don't try to change their opinions. They think they can kill a baby in their womb by calling it a fetus. No problem. No problem, baby. You're right. You got it. How could you start a family with a woman who thinks like that about the fucking pregnancy in her divine womb? She pepper spraying that shit with, Plan Bs. Why the fuck do you think that could be the mother of your children? If you're a man and you're taking your life seriously and you want to start a family, why in the fuck would you deal with a woman who doesn't have the same value system you do? Why you need a woman who's going to put family first. That's what you need. You don't need somebody who's going to put her truth or her happiness above the family you guys are working on, right? So listen, ladies, your ethnic image is Sukiyana, and black men didn't do that to you. Y'all support her. Your ethnic image is sexy red. Black men didn't do that to you. Y'all love her. Y'all defend her. She being creative. Okay. There's a cost. Outcomes are not patriarchy and punishment. You jump off a building, you go splat. That's not because of racism and toxic masculinity and patriarchy. That's because the choices you made come along with outcomes. They're connected. And if you're a woman that like to run around and fuck, then guess what comes along with body count don't matter. Babies nobody wants. They're tied together like stank and shit. They cannot be pulled apart. So you can't connect. You being a baby mama with fucking 20 or 30 dudes. You can't connect that. You don't think those things are connected. You think the problem is that men ain't shit. That's how you think you got there. No problem. I ain't here to argue with you about it. Sounds great to me. Avoid. Avoid. Men. Men. You need to become something. You need to develop principles and values. Come to my page. Talk to me about virtue. Let's have a conversation about creating principles and developing a code that you can use as a tool to make decisions and live your life. And I'll also talk to you about what type of women to look for, what type of women to avoid, what are the red flags, what are the things that women say when you know the value, so you can figure out what type of value system she has. And you don't end up with some woman that's not going to play the game with you. You need a teammate that can play her position and play the game with you. And these women that are arguing about patriarchy and toxic, but they conceptualize heterosexual relationships through some system of some structure of oppression. That's how they conceptualize it. You would be a fool if you're a man and you think it's your responsibility to protect and provide for a woman to pick a woman who is going to fight you on that. You would be a fucking fool to do that. So stop doing it. Stop arguing with these women. I feel bad. I don't want them to get hit with bricks. I wish that our women were looked at as wives, but they single and independent and they don't need a man. They're equals. They're out earning us. We don't, even though y'all not, but y'all do got more degrees than we do, right? So, y'all above us, you know, y'all above us. You better than us. You don't need us. I got it. I heard it. Message received. That's the dominant narrative. That's what the women tell each other. That's what the women tell themselves. That's what the women get up and preach online every single day. Sukiyana, Lady Red, Princella, Cynthia G. We got it. Ladies, we heard it. We got it. Okay, but guess what comes along with being single and independent? You on your own. You don't get protection from men as a group when you are as a group are baby mamas and mavericks. That's not how it's going to work. You may not like it. You may not think it's fair. You can think however the fuck you want to think about it. The sky is blue, water is wet, 1 + 1 = 2, and Sukiyana and and Lady Red Devil, whatever the fuck her name is, was it Sexy Red and Nicki Minaj and Cardi B? That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. The men who believe it is their masculine responsibility to protect and provide for you do not want to protect and provide for the women like that. And you can say whatever the fuck you want about that. It's not going to change. We're black men are spreading this information between one another. We're spreading this information between one another. Protect your wife. Ladies, you want protection? Get married. If not, go to the range. Get into a gunfight with some niggas. You can do that. Like, that was the advice y'all had for each other. None of y'all was like, we need to find husbands. None of y'all was like, you know what? You know the best defense against a man? A bigger, stronger man that's willing to fucking kill over me. That's the best defense against a man. A ring on my finger. So somebody fucking with me knows somebody else is gonna show up and blow up. None of y'all said that. Y'all talking about the range like y'all the only one that can buy shit. You wanna have shootouts. You sound fucking stupid. You sound stupid. Why don't you do what every other group of women on the fucking planet is doing? Why don't you do that? Asians are a minority, and they're outperforming everybody in every measurable fucking statistic in this country. Their affirmative action works against them. They can't get into Ivy League universities because if they let them in, if they qualify people completely independent of race, then the highest colleges in this country, 90% of them would be Asian. There wouldn't be any space for anybody else if it was just off of who had the highest marks. And guess what they also have in common? Guess. Guess who has the lowest out of wedlock childbirth rate? Guess who has the highest marriage rates? Guess who has the lowest divorce rates? Give you one guess. Give you one guess. Give you one guess, ladies. Yeah. Okay. The best version of you is when you find a good man to work with. But you're not going to get one just because you got a nice ass. You need to have some virtue, some modesty, and some chastity. For you ladies who have already fucked your lives up by having children by men that nobody fucking respects, that won't help you by parenting and providing for those children, it's fucked up. I'm sorry it's like that for you. You can try to do the things that men are asking you for in general, men of character are asking you for in general, and see if you can partner up with somebody. But you need to get real about the situation you in. Because guess what? This shit is only getting worse. I love that Africa is talking about becoming the United States of Africa. I don't know if y'all know they're doing that. They've stopped selling iridium, uranium to Western nations. That's for nuclear power and a whole lot of shit that we like to do with technology. Now, we've depended on a lot of those nations in Africa to be so dirt poor and for their infrastructure to be so shitty that we could get those resources for basically free. But now that's stopping because Africa, they got their mind right. And they're coming together and they're partnering with China and Russia to help build infrastructure to extract more resources and build the infrastructure necessary for them to create thriving, prosperous metropolises. More than just South Africa, Johannesburg, and all of that play, all of that. Africa's on the come up, but guess what happens when they introduce their currency into the world market? It's going to be a bitch. Right now, the resources of the world are measured by USD, by the US dollar. China and Russia are talking about coming together now to put together a currency to usurp the US dollar as a measurement for currency. What do you think that's going to do to our money? We just spent the last 10 months at 8% plus inflation rates. I'm a finance guy. I deal with money for a living. I lent $480 million last year. What do you think that's going to do? Now we're back down to like 3%, but they're terrified that it's going to go right back up. And we can't afford to keep quantitative easing because that's part of what it is that caused the inflation in the first place. So they've been trying to force joblessness by choking off credit lines and increasing interest rates between banks so that companies that want to get funding so that they can expand their operations won't do it, which stalls hiring. They're trying to softly decrease hiring to increase joblessness because joblessness and inflation are on a seesaw with each other. The higher the joblessness rates, the lower the inflation rates. What do you think is like? Y'all are going into the stores and seeing shit isn't stock because of the supply chain is fucked up. The logistics that it takes to move products from one end of the country to the other, or to get them into the country at all, is breaking down because of oil prices, because of trade agreements that you guys aren't watching because you're busy talking about who gets to go into what fucking bathroom. You think shit is about to get better in any meaningful sense? We're fucking around at the cusp of possibly World War III over this stupid Ukraine shit. Y'all think this shit is about to get easier? We need each other. We need each other. But y'all single independent don't need a man. Want a man don't need a man. Y'all goddesses and queens and boss bitches and all of this other stupid shit that no man who's looking for a wife would tolerate. So good luck.